to the truth in a way that's a little too fierce and says like, hey, you need to just go work 3 jobs and go work yourself to death and cut back and eat ramen noodles and save every penny and pay off all your debt for the next 10, 15 years. It doesn't matter what it takes. And then once you do that, then this, and then it's just such a, like a, it's just mean. And I understand these people put themselves in debt, so it's like tough love. But I remember when I was deeply in debt and I watched some Dave Ramsey, I'm like, this guy's an a-hole, you know? But he's right. But people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. Like, if he's kind of like a Simon Cowell in American Idol, how he's just like, everybody's clapping and he's like, no, you suck, next, and doesn't even tell the person why, and then they just run off stage like upset. But then you just learn. Anyways, too much. Personal finances. Read that whole book. I learned a lot. Home Service Millionaire by Tommy Mello. This guy's Tommy Mello, man. He's the boss, man. This is a great book, dude. He literally tells you exactly what to do. I shouldn't even have showed that to you. It's a great book. Phenomenal book. This is a classic. How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling. God, phenomenal. George Foreman. I don't even know why I have that. Another amazing book. No BS Marketing. I haven't read this book. I just bought it because I support these guys, but sometimes too many books. Direct Marketing. Phenomenal book. I read that. I've read Failing Forward by I've read all of John Maxwell's books, or at least he has like 40 of them, but I've read probably 12 to 15 of them. Going on the list. This is a lot, right? God. What another great book. This is another classic. Just these old classics. Oh, another great book. Robert Greene. He also wrote the 48 Laws of Power. I read this. I read this book cover to cover over the winter. Phenomenal book, dude. Copywriting. All of the Kiyosaki books. I've read every single Kiyosaki book. And some of them I've even read multiple times. I've reread them and given them away. That's the rule. Read, reread, and give away. That's the rule of the book. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Increase Your Financial IQ. The E-Myth for Contractors. I read all these. I read that. The Gentle Art of Verbal Self-Defense. Phenomenal. Publish and Profit. I read Expert Secrets cover to cover. Phenomenal book. I read this cover to cover twice. Launch by Jeff Walker. I read this. Unlimited Power. Phenomenal book by Tony Robbins. The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley. Phenomenal book. Read that. The average millionaire in America, 80% of them are self-made and they did not have it handed to them, and they're like the next door neighbor that you have no idea that they're rich, but they're so good with their money and they're not flashy. And most people that are really flashy are actually broke or soon to be broke or in debt, and only a small percentage of the people that are flashy actually have it like that. Right. I got here's copies of my book, How to Start a Landscape Business with No Startup Money and How to Make $500 a Day Cleaning Windows by Keith Kalfas. I've written both these books. They're both on audible.com. You can get them on Amazon. Also, my brand new book, Your First Year in a Landscaping Business. It's the color green. I actually gave them all away at the last live event I spoke at, so I got more on the way. They should be here in a couple days. Here we go. Oh, here it is, the Illustrated Guide to Pruning. I just spent like $75 on this. It's going to be amazing. I should do a whole video just on that. 5 Love Languages. Sometimes I read that in a story time with Keith. I read the whole book. Great book. It'll help you with your love life tremendously. Codependent No More. If you have a really messed up relationship and you're totally insane and fighting all the time, you got to read that book. It'll help you realize where you're co-creating all this codependent crap that you're not even aware of and you're blaming the other person, right? The Power of Focus. God, that was a really hard book to get through because it's like really like make you have to focus to read it. I should try reading it again because I didn't even get through 3 chapters. I didn't really. The Leader in You, great book. The Dale Carnegie series. This is a phenomenal book. Lower Your Taxes Big Time. I read most of this book. Learned a lot. Another phenomenal book. Read it cover to cover. Dr. Wayne Dyer. Just phenomenal. This book changed my whole life, dude. Debt Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. God. This book took me from a 512 credit score, scoring like 30 grand in debt collectors calling me, to being I'm 100% debt free. I have 77 months of 100% on-time payments, and I haven't missed a payment on anything since 2012, and before that I was 2010, and I have a 807 credit score now, and just completely debt free except for my house. Thank you, Trudeau. Read some of that. I don't know what these books. Son of Screaming. Just like some of these amazing singers can scream. I was really into singing, and I still sing, but there's a whole DVD on how to activate these second layers of vocal cords so you can like scream without actually hurting your voice at all. Pretty cool. Dave Ramsey. Okay. All the Power Talks by Tony Robbins, really good. Susie Orman, believe it or not, for the male audience, female audience, she's phenomenal. I've read like 3 or 4 of her books, and I learned a lot of shit from her, dude. None of these. I haven't read these yet. Why Men Marry. I don't know why I got that from like a used bookstore. My wife is like, why would you have that book? The QBQ, Question Behind the Question. Phenomenal. Oh, Mickey, he's my good boy. He's my doggy. He's my miracle dog. He's my... Alright, he's an old man. I love this dog. Life, another MLM company. Resolve. Oh my god. 13 Resolutions for Life. I should take this out and just read it. Leadership, Tidbits and Treasures. Phenomenal books, dude. By Orrin Woodward. These guys. The Business of Life. Chris Brady. Wow. Forgot about Leading the Consumer Rebellion. God, I gotta just sit down one night and dig through these. All the Trump books before he ever even became president. I already had all the books, and I read. I didn't read The America Deserve, but I read this one, The Art of the Comeback, was it? And one of his other books, and Why We Want You to Be Rich. I learned a lot about him. I mean, I read his entire books. And what do we got down here? This is a bunch of spiritual stuff. Mind healing, meditation, Wisdom of the Mystic Masters. Amazing book. Wow. Phenomenal book. The Book of Awakening. This is one of my all-time favorite books. I can literally, sometimes if I'm really stressed out, I would just sit and pull this out and just pick a page, and I'll sit next to my wife and I'll just start reading it aloud, and within 10 minutes we're in a state of complete peace and love and tranquility, and we just fall asleep together on the couch. Beautiful book. A Course in Miracles, of course. Revelation. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I read that when I was really depressed when I was like a 20-year-old kid, and it pulled me out of depression. The Force by Stuart Wilde. I've read a few of his books. This guy's amazing. Look him up on YouTube. He talks about abundance and law of attraction. He's one of the original gurus. The Finhorn Garden. Wow. Amazing. I can't even get into what this book's about, but it's about supernatural, amazing stuff of like, I think there was this, God told them or something that to go plant, and nothing can grow there, but all of a sudden everything grew, and it was like this whole co-op. Anyways, and they documented this like miraculous thing that happened. I wrote a book about it. Wishes Fulfilled. Dr. Wayne Dyer, I met him in person. He signed my book. Is this the one he signed? Yeah. I got to get a hug before he passed away, and some pictures with him. He's written 43 books, and I read a lot of them. I grew up on Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he saved my life. He's phenomenal. The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. I read this in a couple of his other books. Phenomenal book. Get on audible.com. Just a great book. All of Eckhart Tolle's stuff. I read all of his books. His Business of Music. Carlos Castaneda. Some of his stuff. Pretty good. A little out there, but very good to consider if you got a lot of time on your hands. Anatomy of the Spirit. Joel Osteen. I thumbed through his books. I don't know how I feel about Joel Osteen, but he is the CEO of a major company. He's a smart guy, and he is a great public speaker, and I respect him for that, but I'm unqualified. I just have the books. Michael Bernard Beckwith. This guy's super... one of the Law of Attraction guys. John Gray, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. I read this book, and I read it to my wife, and it actually helped her and understand our marriage and us, and helped her more than it helped me. I've been really into personal development for years, and my wife and I were fighting a lot, and I would just crack this open and read it at night, and it helped her tremendously. The Fourth Dimension. Many Lives, Many Masters. Oh my God. Very small percentage of you will know what this book is. And I read this book cover to cover. I actually played it for about 12 hours of driving with my wife and I on a road trip. And my wife freaked out for like a week or two after listening to it. I am a very open-minded person, and basically this psychiatrist, hypnotherapist, psychiatrist, this lady was speaking in different voices and like falling asleep and waking up, and he was a total like left-brainer who didn't believe in any woo-woo type of